This is a continuation of my earlier video on simple SQL queries. Now let us look at the following numeric function, round. The round function rounds a number to a specified number of decimal places. Now in this example, select p underscore code, p underscore price, round p underscore price, comma 1 as price 1, round p underscore price, comma 0 as price 0 from product. Now here note that in the first one I wrote p underscore price, comma 1. I'm rounding up to one decimal place. 1 means I'm rounding up to one decimal place, and in the second I am only rounding the integer part. There is no decimal part. 0 means there is no decimal part and the integer part is rounded. That is the meaning of p, round p underscore price, comma 0. Now let us run this query in MySQL workbench. Okay, so now let us run this query using MySQL workbench. When I run this query, you will notice that for the first product, p underscore price is 109.99, and when I am rounding up to one decimal places, it turns out to be 110. And again, when I round it without the decimal places, the integer part is rounded off, so it also becomes 110. And look at the third row. The actual price is 1749, and when I round it up to one decimal place, it becomes 17.5. and also when I just round it the integer part, since 0.49 is less than 0.5, so when I round it, it becomes 17. So that's why you notice here price 0 in the third column, it becomes 17. Now I'm going to talk about numeric functions, CEIL and floor. The CEIL function returns the smallest integer that is greater than or equal to a number, whereas the floor function returns the largest integer that is smaller than or equal to a number. So let us look at the following example. Select p underscore price, CEIL within parenthesis p underscore price, comma floor p underscore price from product. So let us run this query, and you will notice that the actual price of the product, so let us look at the first row. The actual price is 109.99, and when we use CEIL, when we apply CEIL, you will notice that the price is 110. That means 110 is greater than 109. That's why it is 109. And when we consider the floor, it will be 109. That means 109 is less than 109.99. That's why when you consider floor, it is the greatest integer less than the actual number, and CEIL is the smallest integer greater than that number, and floor is the largest integer less than that number. That's why CEIL of 109.99 is 110 and floor of 109.99 is 109. Now I am going to talk about strings. The first one I am going to discuss is CONCAT function. The CONCAT function adds two or more expressions together. In this example, I'm looking at the table called employee, and we are concatenating here employee first name and employee last name as name. So basically concatenation means putting those two strings together. So in this example, we are actually concatenating the employee first name as well as employee last name from that employee table. And notice that we also put an empty space between the first name and last name. That's why you notice that within quote we put an empty space. So we run this query, select concat employee underscore first name, comma within quote an empty space followed by employee last name as name from employee. Once we run this query, we will get the first name followed by the last name and there is an empty space between those two first name and the last name. This is called string concatenation. Now I'm going to discuss another example where we are using the upper function and the lower function. The upper function converts a string to uppercase, whereas the lower function converts a string to lowercase. So let us run this query, and you will notice that here all the first name followed by the last name, all of the names are displayed in the uppercase. Now if we change it from the upper to lowercase and again run this query, you will notice that the names are now displayed in lowercase. Now I'm going to talk about substring. The substring function extracts a substring from a string. For example, let us look at this example. Select employee underscore phone substring within parenthesis employee underscore phone 1,3 as prefix from employee. Now what is the meaning of employee phone 1,3? That means it starts at 1 and looks at the next 3 characters in the string. So I'm going to run this query, and I'm looking at the employee table right now, and look at this. So this is the employee phone, and we are only looking at the first 3 strings in this employee phone starting from the position 1. So 1 means is the position of where the string begins, and followed by the next 3 characters in the string. Instead of 3, suppose I do 2. I change it to 2. So what is going to happen here is I am starting from the string position 1, and then I'm only looking at the first 2. So if I run this query, you will notice that it will be just 3, 2. Now I'm going to talk about another string function called length. This is actually quite useful because the length function returns the length of a string. In this example, select employee underscore last name, length employee underscore last name as name size from employee. So what it will give you is, it will give you the length of the string employee last name. So it will display the length of that string. So let us run this query. And you can see the employee last name. If you look at just the first row, the employee last name of the first row, the name size is 7. The length of this string is 7. The second one, Lewis, the name size is 5, and so on.